bias in favor of non-godly, non-believing forces. So much so that the scientists have themselves taken note of this. They are realizing that it has become a matter to be ashamed of for a scientist to openly admit that I have found evidence, scientific evidence, which leads to the belief in one master of the universe and only one master. So they suppress and continue to suppress such evidences out of fear that they will earn shame in their own community. A census was held in America on this particular issue of scientists of the world showing cold shoulder to religion or intentionally suppressing evidence, fearing that they will earn a bad name in their own community. And also the study was held to find out the trends among the scientists. And I was amazed to read that report. I don't remember exactly which paper, perhaps in Scientific American or some authentic magazine this report was published. If you want, I can trace it back. Now, there it was noticed after a large investigation and exploration that in the beginning of this century, almost all the scientists had turned atheists. There were very few exceptions. Gradually, with the passage of time, the trend is changing. Scientists, particularly the physicists, who were the foremost in leading the atheist movement in all the sciences, they are changing their attitude very pointedly in favor of God. And according to this consensus, 25% of important high-level scientists have no shame to admit that they believe in God and they have seen evidence in favor of God being the master of the universe. Now this trend was noticed some decades ago in half-mumbled statements where the scientist of the stature of Einstein saw things but did not have the courage to admit them in so many words. For instance, Einstein in one of his papers wrote that what we know as symmetry in nature is completely universal. There is no exception in that. There is perfect balance. And one wonders, how could it happen without there being one God? Now your question is related to this issue. One God, a God and one God alone. Now this was the effect of his declaration when protests were lodged against him by scientists. What have you done? Have you become a believer? And particularly when a letter was addressed to him from America of someone who was a committed atheist, he said, I respect you highly and you have done this and that, but do I hear rightly that you said this? Then Einstein, like a good politician, changed his view and started reinterpreting himself. He said, well, I said it as if there were a God, that sort of thing. But not that I believe in God, I'm with you. So that was the time when the things began changing. Now the world of science has advanced further. They are seeing positive evidence that religion was, after all, not to be rejected in toto just as a cursory study of things. For instance, things are happening even in physics which are drawing the attention of scientists to such things they had rejected outright as unscientific. Now here let me explain further that the attitude of scientists has been divided into two perspectives, or two vantage points, I should say. Some say we are just agnostics. We do not find any evidence of the existence of a conscious God. The others said there is no God. It's just human imagination. Like Einstein himself took this position later on. And he believed God to be the creation of human mind rather than mind to be the creation of God. Like the British sociologist, what was his name? Famous sociologist, Huxley. He was also, it seems to me after reading him, that he was a sort of admirer of, and a great admirer of Huxley. So he said, this is the opinion of every educated person, every intellectual, and count me among those. But things began to change when some evidence began to appear which created shocks and shock waves. Einstein himself was one of those who had to admit it, though he kept quiet afterwards. And that evidence which first hit Einstein square on the head was the discovery of Big Bang. Now, when he visited America in 21 or 22, when the Big Bang theory was just in the offing, what Einstein exclaimed in wonder and also in sort of exasperation, he said, "Do you mean that we will have to believe in God now?" Now, how could he relate the discovery of Big Bang to the issue of God's existence? Very few people understand that. But because there is not much time, let me skip this for the time being. There is a very deep, profound relationship between the discovery of the Big Bang phenomenon and the existence of God. A logical proof is found there. But that was the exclamation of Einstein's, which is reported, registered, but then he never returned to this subject again. But things happened elsewhere otherwise as well. It was in America again that some scientists discovered by a chance a reported event which was amazing, which was to their knowledge completely contradictory to the principles of physics. That discovery was made by a farmer who was dragging his boat upstream with the help of a horse. Boat was harnessed onto the horse, and the horse was harnessed for the sake of the boat, and he was dragging the boat upstream. Now, everybody knows that the pattern of movement created in water by a boat, whether it is still or otherwise, is something which is left behind the boat. It's impossible scientifically to accept that that pattern advanced beyond the boat and kept on moving on as if a boat was moving ahead of it. You see the triangular wave pattern which is created by the boat? This is what happened there. When this man turned a corner along the water edge and stopped there for a while, he was amazed to find as if the boat was moving ahead while it was stopping there, and it was leaving the same pattern exactly in the same shape ahead of the boat. So when scientists learnt of this, they experimented, and they discovered this phenomenon and named it soliton. And there they related it to religion in a strange way. They said whenever it was told to us by religious people that there is a soul.